Hey folks, it's Tom, your frugal prepper. Got the first car of the weekend in here. The guy that owns this has the ohhowhappygardener channel on YouTube. I've done a garden tour with him in the past, but I'll put a link to his channel. Go check him out. He's trying to get some view time and some subs so he can keep his monetization, so maybe we can all help him out. But I've got his, I think it's an 08 or 09 Buick Lucerne here in the garage, and he thought it had like bad wheel bearings and maybe bad brakes. And then he said there's a little bit like a knocking sound in the engine. And so I grabbed the stethoscope and listened. I'm like, it kind of sounds like it's coming from the belt tensioner pulley. But I'll show you that. But anyway, I mean, I've gone through. I mean, the brakes. Well, the rotors have some wear. These brakes got a good, like more than 50% left on them. They're not that bad yet. There's no play in the bearings at all. I mean, they're nice and tight. It's just a little bit of noise in one of the ball joints when you turn it. So I gotta get in between here. This thing's right up against my toolbox. This thing's a big old boat. Squeeze through here. Alright, so, and it was the same thing over here. It just, the brakes and everything look really good on it. And there's no play in the bearing at all. And that ball joint seems perfectly fine. So everything looks good. So I said, well, I'm going to address what's going on here under the hood. So let me see if I can set this up and show y'all. Looking at right here is the water pump pulley. I don't know if you can see that, but there is play in this water pump bearing there. Okay, hopefully you can kind of hear that knocking sound there. So what I'm going to try to do is see if I can get the camera to let you hear this. Here's the water pump pulley. This would be your alternator. You can see it sounds pretty normal. There's the idler pulley for the tensioner. It's all normal. All this sound is coming out of this water pump. Let me get back on it here. Okay folks, it's time. I'm back out here in the garage with this lacrosse. So I texted the owner last night and told him what I thought it was. And he said, you know, it's really weird because it's so loud that it's deafening. I'm like, the noise I'm hearing, well, sounds like a wheel bearing with the doors closed, is not deafening, you know. So I decided to go ahead and put the tires on it and take it for a drive. And sure enough, as soon as you take off and get 10, 15 miles an hour, like crazy, almost sounds like a tire noise, like, you know, those truck tires that are all knobby. But there was just no play in the bearings. Now, I've heard before that bearings can go bad and they can be noisy and not be loose. I've personally never seen it, but I've heard it. Well, now I personally have seen it. So I got the hub out of this guy, and it's here. And I don't really know that you can't feel it through YouTube, but this thing is really tight, and I can feel it just kind of grinding in there. It's like somebody put gravel in the thing, but it's not loose at all. So that's pretty cool. So I texted the owner. I have a used one that's good, or I can go get him a new one. I texted him, see what he wants to do, and then we're going to pop this back together. It's really nice, that Carlisle ratchet on the top bolt on these. You know, it always was a pain to get to. With that new Carlisle ratchet, I'll put a link up in the corner, but it's this extra long ratchet right here. That guy lets you get to that top hub bolt with that small head and that short extension right on it, man. Popped it right out of there. I love that ratchet. I'm loving it more and more the more I use it. So anyway, I'll be back. Okie doke, folks. So the Buick is out of here. It's gonna be coming to pick it up here in a little bit. But yeah, I got that water pump replaced. Here's the old one. Let me show you. Yeah, that's got a bad bearing in it. And then the wheel hub. It's just gritty and it's hard to turn. Not a good hub. But not loose at all. You wouldn't know it by you know, rocking the wheel back and forth to see if it was loose. Also had to replace the PCV valve. There's the old one. Fuel trims were a little bit the fuel trims were a little high on it, and that PCV valve, I popped it up out of there, and it's like the ball is real sticky in there. It's barely moving up and down. So replace that, and the fuel trims return to normal, back in that 2-3% range one way or the other for total fuel trim. So that's all done. It runs. It's nice and quiet now. So still trying to get a hold of my friend with the van. I haven't heard from him in like a week. Last I heard, his brakes weren't working and he was still driving it. I hope he's still alive. I've been texting him. He hasn't responded. So I'm going to try to get a hold of him if I can. He works like third shift, so sometimes he's kind of hard to get a hold of. But I'll talk to y'all later. Just thought I'd kind of show you what I found. I really just needed to get it done. I didn't have time to kind of like set up the camera and do a step-by-step on how to replace a water pump and how to replace a wheel bearing or hub assembly. So what I'll do is up in the corner here or down below or both, put some links to South Main Auto channel. He's done water pump on a 3.8 in one of his videos, and he did a wheel bearing on a Buick LaCrosse, which is the same wheel bearing as a Buick Lucerne. So if you need to know how to do those things, I think his videos would be an excellent source of information. I'll talk to y'all later. This is Tom, Frugal Prepper.